Okay, so I made the mistake of not actually paying attention to how many episodes I've recorded so far this week. That's how many I've recorded. Okay. On to acrophobia. I've been using this marble for so long. Kind of like to switch to a new one, but I need to unlock another one first. I guess we have a choice of where to go. We have this way and that way. We do have gems to pick up today. It's not a free-for-all. Oh, hold on. Have I done this stage? This stage feels very familiar. The backdrop is different, but... yeah, we have done this stage. This was in Chapter 6 back in Classic. And this up here was where you actually got the treasure box. I was kind of lamenting how everything here is still a bit easier than I thought it ought to be. This is the one part you got, like, kind of a little bit of challenge. Ooh, almost. I don't know how I ended up sending myself off to the side. Thought I was just trying to go straight everywhere. Not trying to pick up that time travel. I don't need it for anything. So I'm not going for a time here. I'm just going for the one little... there you go. Treasure box. Yeah, sure. Excuse me? What just happened? Well, this is apparently Blossom, isn't it? Iron Blossom. I was thinking something kind of like rusty or whatever. But, I don't know. That would kind of make sense. It is nice to have a trail that complements the... why did you say diamond? Okay, whatever. Some bugs in this game still. I tend to use trails that just match the marble directly. It might be kind of nice to have a trail that instead complements the marble somehow. Yeah, here we go. So we had these little things. I still thought were a little easy for my taste. And the big one was this one at the end here, which even still was not a lot to challenge oneself with. Of course, if you don't even get speed to jump at it, it's not going to do you much good. I remember the first time I got to the stage, I think I did basically the whole stage zero issue except for barely messing up that last part that I just fell off of substantially more pathetically than the first time I tried it. What's nice about this part here is that the bend that you cut when you do that is so easy to go through at a decent speed that you actually do have to go through the so-called tightrope section quickly for it to actually save you time. You don't just get rewarded for having done it at all, you actually have to do it quickly to get a time save from it. I think I just messed up the dismount or something. Like, I think exactly that is what happened the first time I did this stage in Chapter 6 in Classic. I don't know what the fastest way of handling this first part is, but I don't think it particularly matters. Just by virtue of, if I remember correctly, easily getting a diamond if you do all these little optional segments anyways. There are some ways in which the guardrails actually make it harder, because it means that if you're close to the edge, you aren't actually on flat ground, which messes up your jump. Which would be an amusing, almost welcome challenge, if not for the fact that it seems totally accidental, because they really seem to be adding these just to make it easier. Totally not aligned, jeez. In fact, when I failed to dismount from the tightrope segment at the very end, I think what is happening is that I'm usually falling off specifically because I get caught on the lip of the thing. And if it was flat, I don't know if that would be happening. Oh shoot, come on. Ah, come on. Was that like 40 seconds I needed to beat? So I don't know if it's any faster to take this route. I don't see why it should be. I just feel like I'm really doing any less stuff going this way. Whatever. It's not really any harder either. It might be more efficient to take another route here, actually. Oh, okay, just throw myself off the ledge somehow. I think jumping on the right might be more efficient, marginally. Because there's another... Well, I'm not entirely certain. I mean, just forcing yourself to take the most difficult route absolutely everywhere is not necessarily the most efficient way of getting through. You know, it would make some sense. I don't know if that was any better. What am I doing? I'm just ceasing to pay attention on those parts because they feel so easy, and throwing myself right off the ledge because of it. And as a result, making myself do worse because I think something is easy. It's what they call hubris, I guess. Taking forever on a stage that I've done before does feel kind of dumb. I don't see any reason not to just take this path down here again. Probably saves time to grab this, but other than that... I'm not sure I remember this song, actually. There we go. Much better time. Actually, no, I can just go to the next stage. I do. In fact, I already have the treasure box here. It's not the usual state of affairs. I'm going way too fast for my own good, I am sure of it. Yeah, no question. Slow down a little bit. I feel like this game has started to overuse ice a little bit. It's like there's a lot of it in all sorts of places. And repeating what kind of bugs me about ice is like the whole premise, of course, is that it makes you not really have control anymore. Like, I already feel like when you're going really fast in this game, you're already at a point where you don't really have much any control other than just the occasional jump. Or not jump. And you combine that with ice, where you... Like, if you have any appreciable speed on ice, you just don't have any control. You're just at the mercy of whatever's happening. And yeah, I still clearly tried to influence where I am and so on. Where I'm going. To some effect, but not enough to where it actually feels satisfying. It just feels like I had to already put myself on a correct course before I touch the ice. Which is a perfectly fine thing. Just not something that I like having over and over and over. Alright, more sensible speed this time. Ah, I was expecting more of a bounce there. It's me, messing up my understanding of the physics, I guess. I see you up there, treasure box. Oh, come on! What do I need for gold anyways? Only a minute. Granted, there aren't any obvious shortcuts here, nor any time travels, so... Ooh, wait. I think that accidentally made me go faster somehow. I think merely keeping a sensible speed the entire time in this stage might be enough to get you to a diamond. There you go. I was expecting to pop up like that last time. Well, yeah, last time I was here, and I just didn't, and I fell. Ah, that must be like 50 seconds. Darn. Nope. I took the very end slightly carefully, just because I hadn't been there before and I've thrown myself off the edge on that segment before. And it turned out to be just a bit too cautious. Way too fast. I think if I was pulling back a bit more when I hit the ground, that might have been okay there, but it's not what I did. Wow, I really did manage to just get hit by the side of that thing. It's very precise timing. I don't think I was on track to survive more than 2 seconds longer anyways, but still. Oh boy, I kept a lot more speed than I thought I would. There are times where I just expect to bounce or not, and the game just does not do what I anticipate, which I suspect is more my failure to intuit how the game will behave than the game behaving in an unintuitive or inconsistent fashion, but suddenly I get hit by these things now. Great. Discovering all sorts of ways to interact with this stage. You'd think I'd be at a point where I can just somewhat consistently get to the end at this point, at a reasonable speed, at which point we could just... Oh boy. Ah! At which point we could just redo the last part at a slightly faster pace and we could be done. But that's not how these things work for some reason. Me doing well once does not necessarily correlate especially well with me doing well again. As much as I might wish it did. Jeez, same box. How did I not get hit by that before? Slow down, boy. Ah! I'm not getting back to where I used to be anymore. It's always strange when you just somehow lose progress on a thing like this. Like, now I just don't do as well as I used to. I'm past my prime. My glory days are long behind me. Ah. Somehow, the spacing of those jumps aren't working out like they used to either. I'm not sure why that's a problem now. You know, that was not the fastest way of getting through there, I don't think, but I think I'm okay. Good boy. Maybe I'm just going too fast at this part now? Did not turn as much as I meant to. What am I doing? Didn't turn as much as I meant to before jumping on that last okay-ish run. I mean, that's fine, I guess. You're on a different cycle than before now. That's new, and new things are scary. Didn't have time to turn there. Okay, I really do have to stick to the left. I don't know why I'm not doing that when I approach that part. I get myself thinking that I can just go on the right instead for some reason. You know, there's just no place to go if you go right. No, the platforms jog left a little bit. Deliberately slow down a bit there. Not super fast, but that did look pretty. Go somewhat cautiously slow on this part. Well, I can't go super fast here, because that'll happen. What's my best time here? Okay, I need to... I want to be 50 seconds is what I'm shooting for. For a second I wasn't sure if it was 50 or 40. Yeah, so I can't just fly really quickly through that last part either. At least not coming into the bend. I can go quickly out of the bend, and that's what I didn't do enough of last time. I actually finished the stage. I hesitated a little getting out of the bend, because I just wasn't sure what was coming. Never feels nice having to spend an entire sitting, more or less, trying to just recreate one good run you had earlier. Just trying to match what you thought you were already capable of. Okay. Be a little bit more sensible at your speed here. There we go. Not even 45. Substantially better. Alright, just to get this stage done with. Actually, I already know where the... Oh. I never even registered to me that there's ice on the edges there. I don't know why you wouldn't just jump over these things instead of going over to the sides of the ices, but alright. Slow down there, Jethro. No chance. But we know where the treasure box is, so we'll just go straight for that as soon as we manage to, you know, recreate an actual successful attempt at going through the earlier parts of the stage, which you'd think I'd be able to do by now. Alright, nice and slow. I guess that's fine. Just kind of expecting them to move at some point. I don't know if there was much I could have done there, though. Could have done something there, namely what I just did, but different in any capacity. Alright, down we go. There we go. Alright, and the point is I just need to get up here somehow. Like that. Wait. It's more ice. Hold on. But we already had ice. What's the idea here? So we've got this one that has, like, little snowflakes appearing on it. And then we've got this one which is just straight ice. Sure, I guess. The ice returns. Is this one actually the ice texture? Like the other one, which was not? I think this one might be the ice texture, but this time brighter or something. It was darker in the classic version. Hey, more ice marble. Still kind of redundant, but I guess I'll take it. Alright, anytime. Anyways. Goodbye, phone. My phone no longer exists on this plane. And by that I mean the literal plane that is my desk. I'll recover that and then meet you up next time for the next episode where we hopefully finish this chapter. Bye, everyone.